I've been in jail a couple times, and you know, I don't like jail. They won't let you do what you want in jail. Okay? Well, the gist that I want to share with you is to guard against that fierce independence that we all have, and make sure it doesn't ruin our ability to continue to prosper and move on and do what ABATE does best. And that is the perfect rapport that we have in Indianapolis, Indiana, and guess what else? Washington, D.C. It is no secret. It is no secret that the MRF, a lot of the organization was done at a round table right downtown Indianapolis, right here in Indiana. The biggest proponent and supporter of ABATE of Indiana and its members. That is no secret. That is no accident. So I guess I leave you with the heritage, burden, and obligations to continue on with what we have done. And while the penalty is that we have become 99% work and 1% party, what is absolutely beautiful, and I think I can pretty well announce it, we don't have to explain ABATE to anybody anymore. They all know. I'm off the script here, Jay, I guess.
I recognize that.
And, you know, even a lawyer's not going to get into eat time here. What I would say to you is, folks, if you have an issue or a problem legal-wise, 800-257-4337. My cell number is 317-727-4599. Our philosophy at ABATE Legal is the firstest with the mostest. No Confederate general got his ass whipped, but it worked for a while. And, you know, if I don't call you back in 24, unless you indicate it's an emergency, you can assume I died, okay? So, in any event, if you have an issue, legal, you have a friend at ABATE Legal, and don't hesitate to call. The other thing I will say to you is that you are our front line of defense. Back in the old days, we didn't have any money. Hell, I'd get threatened by a lawyer. Hell, that was a piece of cake. I'd walk in with a checkbook, throw it down, and, you know, there'd be a balance of $45.32, and I'd say, how much of that you want? That worked real good. And I'd say, we're a do-gooder operation, and we teach kids how to ride motorcycles, and even old farts like you, and, you know, etc. And that worked till all of a sudden, guess what? You folks kept getting better, more efficient. We became more prosperous. We kept doing the right things, correct things, good business judgment, good political judgment. Now I can no longer say that. Now we have to be diligent as to our legal rights and obligations. We try to ensure those things we can, and those we can't, we use waivers. Waivers, 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 hold harmless agreements, releases, lawyer bubblygook for, if they say we did something bad, they can't tag us for it, okay? So in your packets, and you'll get a document called a waiver. Typically that's how we shorten it down to. If you have questions about that, that's our lifeblood. We need those documents desperately. They serve a purpose. They've saved our ass on numerous occasions. I'll give you an example. Down at Lawrence County, you know, they're doing some really fun shit down there, okay? And unfortunately, fun got a little carried away, and this father of four did a wrong thing and broke his neck. Quad. Horrible. Our heart went out for the family. But we have no insurance for those type of events because we can't afford to pay what the insurance companies want to insure that. We had our waiver. I wake up at night sometimes thinking something else I'm going to put in it. All right, it's been through, Jay, how many? 15 versions, 20. Every time I think of a horror story, should I get up at night and I write something in there because we are so dependent upon that waiver. In this instance, 2-year statute of limitations. My old butthole's puckered, you know. First year goes by, no word, good, I'm cool. 9 months goes by, Jay and I are looking at it. Hell, the 2 years is coming up. Week before the 2 years statute of limitations comes up. We don't have a penny of insurance. We couldn't get it. Former Associate Justice of the Indiana Supreme Court, God rest his soul, he's dead now, John Perhuli, calls me up. Said, Rod, I represent that fellow that broke his neck down at Lawrence County. Oh, my heart fell to my knees. I was, sick just thinking about the specter of it. He said, do you have a waiver? I said, Judge, I sure do, and by golly, if I'm worth half a cent as a lawyer, your poor client agreed to hold us harmless if we let him go on our property and do whatever he wanted to do. And I said, we regret to the end of time, and I wish I could say to you, we got $10 million we can give him and help him out. But we didn't do anything wrong. And he said that even if we did, he waived it. The judge, I always called him the judge, even after off the bench, you always call him the judge. The judge asked me to fax it over to him, I did. I underscored the provisions that I wanted to look at. I said, Judge, do me a favor, call me back ASAP. So my old butthole's puckered on this thing. And he called me back, said, Rod, I'm going to tell them that they waived their rights and that that's just one of those things. And we closed the file, and that was the end of that deal. Okay? But the reason I want to point this out to you is that when I said the greatest biker organization in the world is located right here, you're it, folks. Okay? I'm not talking about somebody down the road or somebody in the office. I'm talking about you folks, to make sure that at our events we've got these waivers and hold harmless agreements executed, signed by all the folks. And I don't want to get bogged down into the details there. And I will review, I write an article about it in the Hoosier Motorcyclist, again kind of revisiting some of the issues with that, just so you can kind of get comfortable, because it's so important to us. This isn't just a piece of paper. I just had a conversation with Gary. Gary says, how long do we have to keep these damn things? And of course, I want to say forever, okay? You cannot imagine the panic that we have when we have an episode. Somebody hires a lawyer, and they send me the letter. You can't imagine how fast we are in there going through those damn waivers. I mean, I'll give you one other example. The Miracle Ride, same deal. And, they're not exactly always printed in perfect English, all right? And it probably had to be a humorous sight to watch all of us going through the boxes and boxes of waiver after waiver and the eureka when we find it, all right? It is just such a wonderful shot at and missed feeling. As to, it's time for lunch, right, Jay? Well, in any event, that's very near and dear to ABATE from a lawyer standpoint. Obviously, you've heard my pitch there. If you have questions about that, don't hesitate to call us.